If you're easily offended, this is probably not the video for you. In fact, it's probably not the channel for you. In fact, this world is probably, you're going to do so well. But growing up, I always thought the name Casey with the C was kind of a lame name. So therefore, you associate people with that name as being lame. Until I found out Casey Jones from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, one of the most badass fictional characters ever created. Turn that name around to mean something. And if your name's Casey with the C and I offended you, don't fret, I can empathize. Mr. X, really? Give it to you. Wait for you to get it on your own. Today on the review table, we have the 1/3 scale Casey Jones statue from PCS's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle line. This is the 5th that they have released. There are 3 more in the works right now, and I own the entire collection. I have the 5, this is the 5th remaining one, and I'm waiting on the last 3 to be shipped. So I have the 3 Turts, if you remember right. I have Raph. He might have been the first one I got. I have Leo, Donatello, and then of course the Nemesis. We have Shredder, and then Mikey, Rocksteady, and Krang are all in production. But funny story about this, it was just 13 months ago when they revealed this Casey Jones statue. And up until then, I was avoiding buying the line. But when I saw this, I was like, not only do I want this incredibly bad, but I can't just buy a Casey Jones statue. So it was Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2025. I decided I'm all in. So I sought down all the statues that had been released. I pre-ordered all the ones that are coming out. And so happy I did. There's 2 minor flaws, maybe 3 on this statue, but it did not disappoint at all. We're going to talk about in the review today. So this is their 1/3 scale line. It's based off some drawings from the Kucharik brothers. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. And these concepts are just phenomenal because to me, they're almost like a mix of the movies and real life and cartoons and comics all together. So it's kind of this original creation because if you're a follower of the channel, I've owned probably about 30 TMNT statues. I've owned the animated ones. I've owned the movie ones from both the Michael Bay and the original. So to me, this has kind of landed the best of all the worlds combined. So let's start looking at the concept of this, which is what makes it phenomenal, which is what sold me, and which excites me for the future of the line. And when I say that, on the base, we have something we have not yet seen in this line. We have the Foot Soldiers or the Foot Clan. So they're robots in this particular universe. You know, sometimes they're people, sometimes they're robots, depending on the source material. And you see them completely destroyed by Casey. You see some swords in them. They're ripped apart. You see some with their uniform on, some without. And this excites me because maybe they're going to release some Foot Clan soldiers. I would assume they're going to. This line has paid off well for them. He's standing victorious over 2 destroyed Foot Clan members, and he looks badass. He is geared out to go out and do an ass whooping. He has armor and pads, and of course, weapons everywhere. Cricket and hockey and baseball. That's what Casey Jones is known for. He takes everyday sports equipment and he turns it into weapons, and that's why he wears the hockey mask for protection as well. Plus, also, it gives him this little bit of a badass, almost Jason vibe. I love it. He's standing victorious, standing proud, standing tall. Concept, I think, is perfect for Casey Jones. I love this base. 5 out of 5 on the concept for me. You know, Casey Jones, I liked him in the 90s cartoon, of course, but I really liked him in the first Turtles movie back in the 90s. The actor who played him was in a few other movies, but I liked that take on him. He didn't have the badass take that this has. I don't know why I'm talking about that. Let's talk about this statue. So with design, there's 2 different versions, a regular and a deluxe. This is deluxe, so it has additional display options we're going to look at after the unboxing and assembly. One box, which is kind of nice for a 1/3 scale statue. And if you remember, PCS has gone away with art boxes, which I don't mind at all. And it was 2 layers. Here's the first layer right here, and the second layer with the second half of pieces. So the widest part of this statue is about 14 inches. And the tallest part is probably the hockey or a bat sticking out just under 27 inches. Barely. Which is interesting because their website said 23.5. Like, I just looked at their website. The deepest part of the base, at least, is about 14 inches. So now I have to figure out where I'm going to display him differently. So that's kind of a bummer. But I talked about display options. So the regular version doesn't have any additional display options. The regular version comes with this bat in the right hand. But if you bought the deluxe, you get the cricket bat along with a hockey pad he's fashioned into a shield with some ninja stars thrown into it. That is absolutely amazing. The deluxe, you also have an additional portrait. So the portraits are almost identical, other than all I can tell is he's looking slightly up. I think this is a huge miss for a few different reasons when we look at these portraits. One, why does he have whited out eyes? And why does he have whited out eyes on both? He's a human. He's not some weird creature. Two, you could have done an unmasked version. You could have done one with a broken faceplate. Three, look at the horrible seam line. So the key is too large to fit in the keyhole, which is what's causing this seam line with the neck. You almost have to shave down the key considerably to get it to slip right in. Can't figure out how that joke would work. So there's definitely some misses on the design. I do like the different display option on the arm. You know, it's interesting. He has all these weapons in the back. He has another bat, another hockey stick. It's interesting they decided that the left arm will permanently hold a hockey stick. I would like to see some other option there. Maybe a sword? I don't know. But it's awesome that there's swords on the base. So for the design, you know, honestly, I usually, when I'm between two grades, I want to go to the lower grade, just to be fair. So design, I'm going to say 3 out of 5 because of that huge miss with the second portrait and the seam line. And the fact he's taller than advertised. So I just double checked the dimensions. They say 25.5 inches tall. And I'm going to verify this. Yeah, he's definitely 27 inches tall. Anyway, moving on to paint and sculpt. It's really, really good. Portrait, some concerns, nothing huge. Take a look. As I look in the paint and sculpt, for the most part, I'm like, why can't PCS do this every single time? Starting with the base. That rock street pavement, the mud underneath the street looks amazing. Looks better than it does in real life. And I don't mean the statue. I mean, if you're out pounding the pavement, this looks like more real pavement than actual real pavement. Foot soldier, I love the robotics they put in him and how you can see that in some of the pieces. Here's one, apparently he stole his hood. And then even the foot soldier uniform, as I talked about, makes me think we're definitely going to get some of those in the future. The wraps on the katana or the blade hilts look good. That's all you really see, a little bit of ornate decoration. And then look at Casey, look at his boots and the laces. This is fully sculpted, yet his pants flow like cargo pants with the straps of the knee pads around. This may be the best paint and sculpt I've seen on a PCS piece. I have a little bit of a blemish right there. The pants and everything down look absolutely great, and it's still good above the waist. I love how his shirt's flowing. It's a little bit of a thicker shirt, so the flow doesn't make sense, but it's got some nice coloring to show the battle. And again, they just did an amazing job. Look at the detail on all these straps. I love whenever a statue is layered like this, whether it's armor or clothing, and they did a great job pulling it off. I love his anatomy. I would like to see a little bit more blue in the veins. There is a hint. Sometimes people overdo it, so I'd rather have not enough than too much. There's the hockey pads there. I like the stars. Clearly they're PVC, they're resin, but the paint gives it a really nice hue. And same thing with the bat is done really well. The baseball bat as well as the cricket bat here. Those nice wooden textures. His bag on the back, I love how worn everything looks. The wraps around his hockey sticks in the bag and even his wrists look fantastic. They did a really nice job with the hair. I like the flow of it. Surprised none of that was damaged in shipping. A little bit of shine on the metallic armor there. And then we come to the portrait, which I think is the weakest part. Not only the paint, but something just looks off about it. You have this realistic take throughout the entire statue, and then this comes very comic or cartoon vibe-ish. I don't know if it's the shape of the mask. I don't know if it's the whited out eyes. I would have liked one portrait without whited out eyes, as we talked about. Actually, I haven't talked about that yet. I haven't filmed that part yet. The magic of editing. But really well done overall. Portrait, just something's off about it with the paint and sculpt. I'm going to combine both the paint and sculpt together. I don't always do that, but if they're the same score, we might as well save you an extra few seconds. Although me talking just eliminated those few seconds, so you really didn't save anything, but it is a 5 out of 5 on both. You know, it's so interesting to me because PCS, especially this turtle line, they're killing it. Some of their other pieces they do really well, and some they just totally drop the ball. Whoever's doing the pieces that are a hit, have them do everything, whether it's the factory or the artist, just my opinion. So value, they made 850 of these. 500 are the regular version, so it doesn't have the additional portrait. That's only slightly different, not a big deal, but it doesn't have the cricket bat and the hockey pad shield. I love this. While it's not necessary, it is really cool to have. So they made 350 of these and then 500. So 850 total. They are waitlisted. And it was $1,350 for this 1/3 scale statue. That is a really good price nowadays. When I started collecting statues this size with this kind of dynamics to it, was around $800 or so, but that was 8-9 years ago. And nowadays, a lot of other manufacturers, you'll see this priced at $2,000 easy. So I really appreciate the price point on it. And because it's waitlisted and because Turtles does have a huge fandom, and Casey Jones, you know, to my knowledge, this is the only 1/3 scale statue of him, and it's done really well. I think the value is a 5 out of 5. I think this is going to be highly sought after. I think you can actually make a profit on it. In this economic times, it's incredibly difficult to make a profit on a statue. I'm not going to make a profit because I'm going to keep it because I think this has the X factor. I think this is a 5 out of 5 statue. It was one of my most anticipated statues of 2026, and despite a few flaws, it did not disappoint. I love it. I'm going to have to figure out an entirely new display because he's taller than advertised, but not now when the other pieces come in. So I have a little bit to figure it out. If you want to see where he's displayed with 3 of the brothers and Shredder, check out my social media, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. The link for those is in the description below. In the meantime, depending when this launches, we are either really close to 40,000 subs or we just hit 40,000 subs, and we're giving away 3 statues valued at over $1,000 each. One might be valued a little less than that. Please check out how to win that, and most of you, 60%, haven't subscribed. So if 10% of the 60%, I can't even do that math, of the watchers subscribed, we'd be at 40,000, and we'd be giving away statues. Crazy. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Yes, we're still giving away $1,000 statues at every 5,000 subscriber milestone. You have to make sure you're subbed to the channel, you like the video, and then leave a comment. We're going to pick a random comment on a random video and give away those statues. In the meantime, check out some of these other videos and my social media. Talk to you soon. Take care.